If possible, sir, please start.
Yeah.
So shall I start, sir?
Yeah, you can.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. A warm welcome you all to one-day webinar on financial planning and wealth creation through investment in mutual funds, organized by Department of Studies and Research in Management, Gulbarga University, Kalaburagi, and jointly organized by Association of Mutual Funds in India. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Rupa ma'am to give a welcome speech.
Rupa, unmute yourself and
Now I request
Vijay
Dr. Rupa
ask
ma'am
Rupa also to unmute.
Yes.
Rupa.
Hello.
Yeah, audible. Yeah.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, all. It's a moment of extreme pleasure to welcome you all for one-day webinar on financial planning and wealth creation through investment in mutual funds, organized by Department of Studies and Research in Management, Gulbarga University, Kalaburagi, in joint association with Association of Mutual Funds in India, New Delhi. Firstly, I would like to take upon this opportunity to welcome Professor Dayanand Akhtar, Vice Chancellor Gulbarga University, Kalaburagi, and Mr. Sharan Basappa, Gulbarga University, Kalaburagi, for their kind support to organize this. I take upon this privilege to welcome our keynote speakers, Mr. Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant, Association of Mutual Funds in India, FOMO DGM, SCBI, and Shri Dev Bhattacharya, Assistant General Manager, Security Exchange Board of India, New Delhi, for taking their valuable time to address this session. We are honored to. It also gives me immense pleasure and privilege to welcome Professor C. Dean, Faculty, Department of Commerce and Management, Gulbarga University, Kalaburagi, and also our beloved Chairman, Professor Rajnasar Lakshman, Department of Studies and Research in Management, Gulbarga University, Kalaburagi, for their kind support and guidance to organize this webinar. I'm also truly pleased to welcome all my colleagues to this webinar. Last but not the least, I would like to welcome all the eminent personalities, delegates, and participants who took their valuable time to join us today to be a part of this webinar. I guarantee you all that the webinar would be productive and worth your precious time. Thank you one and all.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now I request Professor Rajnasar Lakshman, Chairman, Department of Studies and Research in Management, Gulbarga University, Kalaburagi, to give opening remarks.
A very fine good morning to all my delegate participants who have joined this webinar. At the very outset, I would like to thank the Association of Mutual Funds in India for giving this opportunity to host this one-day webinar and sensitizing our participants and delegates that how important this kind of topic will be, that is financial planning and wealth creation through investment in mutual funds. At the very outset, I would like to thank the organizer for this golden opportunity which is being extended. So this webinar is being attended by with the participation of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dayanand Akhtar. He will be joining us at any moment of time because he has preoccupied with some other event on the campus. So at the very outset, I would like to extend again welcome to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dayanand Akhtar, our Dean, Faculty of Commerce and Management, Professor Basava CS sir, and our today's resource persons, Sri Suryakant Sharma ji, former DGM SEBI, and another resource person, Sri Dept Bhattacharya AGM Secretary and Exchange Board of India, New Delhi, and my colleagues in the department, Dr. Vijay Sahu, Dr. Anil Hagrigi, Dr. Rupa, Dr. Arun, Dr. Jagdish, and all the participants who have joined this event. I would like to extend a very warm welcome. And in few words, I would like to express what kind of significance this kind of event will carry. Because in one's, whether it is an individual's life or a life of a family or a corporate undertaking, normally the financial planning is so critical and important, and one has to have the financial planning so that it will get converted into or lead to wealth creation, which will be having so many other associated benefits, advantages, etc. So financial planning and wealth creations are the two important issues which needs to be considered either by an individual or by a family, or equally it will apply to even corporate undertakings also, where the very objective of any corporate undertakings to wealth maximization. So when it comes to wealth maximization is concerned, it will be a product of the proper financial planning. So normally how one plan for the finance so that it can achieve the life goals of an individual or a family. To meet the criticality of the financial planning is to meet the life goals, because as a rational human being, as a the human being, to call oneself as a being human, what is essential is one need to have the peace of mind and one need to have the life goals, and how one can orient towards those life goals. So because of an effective and very ideal financial planning, definitely it will lead to the wealth creation, and the financial planning is going to accrue certain benefits. Benefits like it will lead to increase in savings, it will lead to better standard of living, preparedness for any contingencies and emergencies which can be met with these, and it also leads, if one is financially sound, financially comfortable, it will also bring in the peace of mind. The urge which always human beings were having for this kind of state of mind, that is a peace of mind, and it will also leads to fulfilling the life goals like wealth creation. Means it will leads to the wealth creation, means because of the wealth creation it will lead a comfort zone, it will leads to the comfort zone, peace of mind, etc. Wealth creation, and it is also retirement planning for the retirement, means after the superannuation how one can live the life with a comfort and happiness. So that will be one more advantage which is going to be, so, it will be definitely contributing for the planning for retirements also. It will help in children's education. It will also enable an individual of the family to save the tax, etc. So these are the life goals. In order to achieve these things, one need to have the financial planning and the wealth creation. The crucialness of the financial planning is why it is important, why it is critical, why it is crucial. Why one has to go for the financial planning is to meet the inflation, because we are living an inflation era, and we need to meet the inflation also. So keeping that in mind, we need to meet the inflation. To that extent, we need to have the preparedness. So therefore, to meet the inflation, and to create a contingency fund, and to create a corpus for the retirement life, even those things is also very important, and manage the money, because keeping these points in consideration, it is very significant and very critical, and we need to be very focused on the financial planning from the angle of these things. And when it comes to the investment avenues are concerned, there is a number of investment avenues, but only thing is one need to have a very judicious plan for allocation of fund of the disposable income which one individual is having. What is essential is it must be properly allocated for meeting our needs, for meeting our wants, and for meeting our savings. So we have to segregate between these different components of our financial requirements. That is needs, wants, and savings and investments. And when it comes to the avenues are concerned, they are safe investment avenues, the little risky investment avenues, depending on our risk perceptions, depending on our risk appetite, we can decide which way we need to make investments. From that angle, there are umpteen number of investment avenues like investment with banks, investment with post office, investment with through the stock market, and of the various available investment avenues, I think mutual fund is the one of the best investment avenue which one individual can afford, because it is having the features of both safe investment avenues as well as the risky investment avenues. Because when it comes to the mutual funds are concerned, we have varieties of mutual fund investment avenues having different features of debt instruments, features of the equity instruments, and the combination of debt and equity instruments. So going by investment in mutual funds, definitely in our financial planning, we need to inculcate the mutual funds as an investment avenue, and through that, definitely we will be in a position to create the wealth and attain our life goals, which we are striving to attain. So from that angle, I think and I hope that definitely this event will go a long way in helping us to properly plan our finance, create the wealth, and have a peace of mind and have a comfortable life. We can lead the comfortable life. I think from this angle, this webinar will definitely help all the participants and delegates to enhance their ability and knowledge as far as the financial planning is concerned and creation of the wealth is concerned, and accomplishing some of these life goals. So that way, this webinar is going to be a role model for us. And I think with our very knowledgeable and expert resource persons in the area of financial planning and mutual funds, we are going to get benefited so much. With these few opening remarks, I would like to hands on the mic to our Master of Ceremony, Dr. Arun Kumar, so that he can take up the further initiatives of the event. By welcoming again all my resource persons and AMFI and my university and delegates, I would like to leave the mic to Dr. Arun Kumar. And in between, I would like to share one more thing here. Our Vice Chancellor is busy with some other event, but he will be joining us within 2 minutes, sir. And he will be joining us, and formally he will inaugurate, and in between he will address us also. But in between, can I request our Dean of the Faculty, Professor C.S. Baswaras, sir, to say a few words on this occasion. I will hand over the mic to Professor C.S. Baswaras, sir.
Good morning to everybody, and especially Shri Suryakant Sharmaji and Shri Dev Bhattacharji for initiating this kind of seminar through the Department of Management, Gulbarga University, Kalaburagi, and the seminar on financial planning and wealth creation through investments in mutual funds is an important seminar for the participants as well as delegates, because we are aware as the population has increased so much and saving ability of the people has increased, and at the same time the avenues for investment have also increased. There will be a confusion in the mind of the investing public without the proper financial literacy while making investment. And if the investment is not properly done by this community who have hard-earned money, then probably they will be losing that, and instead of creating the wealth, it will be a disaster for them. So for the benefit of all such persons who are having hard-earned money keeping it for the investment purpose, in order to multiply it over a period of time, they must be properly trained. They must be properly knowledged. So for that purpose, with that intention, this kind of the seminar is extremely important, and I wish all the best for this seminar, and I request Shri Suryakant Sharmaji to and it is formally inaugurated, and anyway our Vice Chancellor will be speaking a few words within a couple of minutes, but let us not waste the time, and I request Shri Suryakant Sharmaji. Okay, Mr. Arun, you can just request our resource person to start the lecture, so that our Vice Chancellor is any moment expected, and sorry for the delay of our Vice Chancellors. Okay, Arun, please.
Arun, unmute yourself. Arun?
Sir, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable remarks. Now, as you said, I am directly going to introduce Shri Suryakant Sharmaji to address this webinar.
No, introduction of guest.
Yes, sir.
Call upon Vijay Sahu.
Yes, sir. I request now Dr. Vijay Sahu to give an introduction of our guests.
Good morning, sir. Is audible? Good morning, sir. Today's speaker, Suryakant Sharma, sir, is a commerce graduate and master in law with a specialization of corporate law. Sir is also a chartered associate of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance. Sir has more than 35 years of experience in banking, finance, security market, and he has served in leading financial institutions in Department of Financial Service, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and finally, sir joined SABI in the year 2003 and worked more than 15 years in different departments. In addition to other assessments, he was DGM in charge of investment awareness and education in SABI North region of more than and worked more than 5 years. Sir, also a member of working groups of NCERT for developing vocational courses on mutual funds for students, that too especially for 9th, 10th students. Also monitors for few NGOs working for financial literacy and investment awareness. Sir also has supervision for more than 15,000 financial literacy programs, that is investors awareness programs has been conducted by sir, and sir had attended more than 600 IAPS. After supervision of SABI, sir had joined Association of Mutual Fund AMFI, an apex body of Mutual Fund of India, as a senior consultant North India. Now I would like to introduce one more our keynote speaker, that is Bhattacharya sir. He is an assistant general manager at SABI and a chartered accountant and MBA by profession. Sir had joined SABI in the year 2004 and has around 14 years of experience in handling audit and taxation matters. Presently, sir is in investment management department as a key member of mutual fund inspection department division. And yes, this is a small brief note about the keynote speakers of today's session. Next, I would like to hand over to Mr. Arun sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vijay Sahu sir. Now, I request, sir, sir, Vice Chancellor sir is available, sir.
2-3 minutes. I think let me start with
yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Suryakant Sharma, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I request our today's guest, Shri Suryakant Sharma ji, to please address the webinar.
Thank you, Mr. Arun. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yes, sir. Audible, sir. Audible.
Thank you very much. God bless you all. Thank you very much. I am
Thank you so
honestly
much, sir.
honored to be with you and with one of the prestigious institution of the Karnataka. And I want to give my respect to Honorable Vice Chancellor, Honorable Registrar, Honorable HOD of the Management Department, and Professor and Chairman Department of Management, and all the organizing team members for giving Amfi an opportunity to interact with all of you. I want to make 2-3 things clear, Mr. Arun Kumar, before I start my session here. One, Mr. Diva Bhattacharya ji will try to join the program, but he has been forced to join one official meeting which was unscheduled, and all of a sudden he has been asked to join that meeting. So he may or may not join. He will of course try to join, but he may or may not join.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I'll update.
Thank you. Secondly, this program is from Association of Mutual Fund India, my dear friend. But it should not be constituted as a marketing or a promotional event of mutual funds. I want to make it very clear, because it should not happen that somebody feel that I'm pushing my mutual fund, or for that matter, the benefits of mutual fund. It is not my intention at all. This program is purely an investor awareness program. And of course, I will talk about the mutual fund at the fag end of my session little bit more. But again, I keep repeating, this is purely an investor awareness program. And Mr. Arun, since this program is for the participant,
Yes,
I will request at least your students,
yes, sir.
have a pen and paper with them or notebook
Yes,
with them, and they may note down anything they found useful or a new idea in my program,
yes, sir.
which they can explore through Google and websites, because we all know everything is available, rather materially flooded on the Google and websites. So these programs are basically sensitizing programs.
Sir, excuse me.
Yeah.
Sir, I would like to welcome Honorable Vice Chancellor of Gulbarga University, Professor Dayanand Aksar, for this webinar.
Okay. Thank you and good morning to all of you.
Yes, sir. Sir, I request Professor Dayanand Aksar ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Gulbarga University, Kalaburagi, to give to inaugurate this webinar. I request Professor Dayanand Aksar, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Gulbarga University, Kalaburagi, to inaugurate this webinar.
Okay, thank you. Let me apologize for a bit delay in joining for inauguration of this one-day webinar on financial planning and wealth creation through investments in mutual funds. I'm extremely happy to inaugurate this webinar, and I'm sure and hope that this will be of a great benefit to all the participants, especially youth, in particular the students and the researchers who are involved in this concerned area of teaching and research. And more so, I'm very proud to make a mention that we have very good speakers as resource persons on this occasion. And let me thank all the speakers too on behalf of the department and also on behalf of the university. And my special thanks to Sri Suryakant Sharma. So thank you so much for joining us, a senior consultant from AMFI, former DGM, SCBI. So nice to see you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
sir.
also,
Thank you very much.
and also Sri Dept Bhattacharya, Assistant General Manager, SEBI, New Delhi, who are with us on this occasion. Of course, we have with us a very active Dean Faculty of Commerce and Management, Professor C.S. Basuraj. Let me also congratulate Professor C.S. Basuraj and also the Chairman of the
Management Department, Professor Lakshman Rajnadkar. Not only I thank them, I congratulate them for this great event, which would really help all the students and the researchers would get motivated in their professional career. With these, I'm very happy to learn from the chairman of the department that there are as many as 900 participants who has registered in this webinar. It's a great number. I think it's
Yes.
a very recordable number.
Yes, sir.
And they're all live on this particular webinar too. I'm extremely happy to note this. As a Vice Chancellor, I wish the conference all the best. And however, I would like to just make a mention that I'm not an expert in this particular area. And of course, I'm not a faculty member also, but I believe these are the part and parcel of every individual, every citizen across the globe. So I shall not forget the real role of theme of this conference for the development and progress of the individual and also nation as a whole. I would like to mention that creates investment awareness. This is one of the most important issues which is being covered. Economic empowerment, one of the most important attributes for a national development, particularly in the Indian scenario, and then improved standards of living, which is most essential for every citizen across the globe, particularly every citizen of the India. I hope that deliberations on these issues in this webinar really will help in improving the standards of living of each one of us. And it also helps overcomes failure in investment. So these are the few issues. Hope all the experts and the resource persons will be covering in depth. And I appeal all the resource persons, please guide and also motivate and encourage all the participants, focusing the youngsters, that is the students and the research scholars, of course, the young faculty members who are involved in this. There are several teachers who are actually participating in the entire major crowd of the participants. With these few words, let me once again congratulate the Dean and the Chairman of the Commerce and Management. And once again, before I conclude, let me thank the resource person for their active participation in this. And I wish the webinar a great success. Thank you very much and namaskar to us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for inaugurating this webinar. Now I'll go to Sri Suryakant Sharma ji. Please proceed with your address related to this webinar, sir. I request to please unmute Suryakant sir ji Sharma.
I am honored that Honorable Vice Chancellor spared some time for us, and he was with us, and he gave us a very useful and fruitful guidance with regard to the deliberation of this program. So, Mr. Arun, I was talking about the that this program is for basically for the participants, and
yes.
As Honorable Vice Chancellor has also mentioned, I will request young participants, particularly students and research scholars, kindly keep a pen and one notebook with them.
Sure,
so they
sure,
can note down anything they found useful or a new idea in my session, which they can explore through Google and websites.
Yes.
Secondly, at this program is for the participants. Mr. Arun, sorry, I will keep taking your name again and again during my session, because
sure,
I want to connect. I want to connect to all the participants.
Sure, sir.
That's the only purpose of taking your name and name of other participants who I can see on the through the videos.
Yes.
I would be very happy, Mr. Arun, if more and more questions come from the participants.
Definitely, sir. Sure, sir.
Because that will be a reflection that they have taken interest in it. They have got some doubt. They have got some queries. Cherry Sahab, namaskar. They have got some doubt. They have got some queries. So it will be my the privilege to satisfy their query. So kindly keep answering your queries. You keep putting your queries in chat box. And after my session is over, we will make the town hall open. Anything can just raise their hand, and we can unmute her or him, and they can also directly ask the question.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
And I will try to make it as simple as I can, my dear friends. I don't want to make it a technical session. I want to involve all of you in my session. That's the only purpose of my session here. Mr. Arun, I just ask you one basic questions to start my session, because I will take your answer forward.
Yes.
What money serves us? Why we are so passionate about the money in our life? What the purpose of money in our life?
To lead a standard of living, like to have a comfort life.
Okay, you got it right. The purpose of money in our life is to have prosperity. I think you will agree with me.
Yes.
And prosperity includes three elements:
Yes.
taking care of basic needs, comfort, and little bit luxury also. So money gives us prosperity. But Arun Kumar ji sir, money also gives us one more thing, which we normally ignore, but that is equally important. Money also gives us security.
Yes.
When we have plenty of money, we feel secure that if anything happens to me, at least I would be able to manage that issue or problem with the help of money. So, my dear participants, you should understand that money also gives us security, apart from prosperity. And Mr. Arun Kumar, you might not agree with me, but I personally feel that we human beings first look after security aspect of the money.
Yes, sir.
Everybody wants security. Everybody wants security.
Yes.
Everybody. For that, we first think about the security in our life. We want to secure our life. We want to secure the life of our family members, our kids. That is very natural. So how we can feel secure? How we can develop security? So first, I will deal with the aspect of security before coming to the second aspect of prosperity. And Dr. Rupa Kapoor, as you might or may not agree with me, we do think about security, but we hardly take care of it in our life. Normally, we are not serious about security, but I feel, Dr. Sahu, that first we should think about security, and once we develop security for ourselves and our family, only then we should think about the prosperity. And Arun Kumar sir, how we can develop security for ourselves and our family? I just share three basic things which we all should do. Even students should note down when they start earning. They should do these three things at the beginning of their career itself. And you should not keep deferring the decision of securing yourself and your family, my dear friends. Because I feel, Dr. Rupa Kapoor, security comes first. And what these three things are, the first and foremost thing is, Arun Kumar sir, every earner must have adequate life insurance cover. This is the first thing we should do. And the purpose of life insurance cover is very simple but very important. Rupa Kapoor ma'am knows it very well that life is pretty uncertain. Ma'am, we are talking today, at least we can see each other today, but tomorrow what will happen, we don't know. We may live for next 100 years, but then we are not sure even of tomorrow. So life is pretty uncertain, and to overcome that uncertainty, that fear, my suggestion to all the faculty members, those who are young like Mr. Arun Kumar, kindly take adequate life insurance cover. Because typically, Arun Kumar sir, we do take life insurance, most of us do take, but that is just for the namesake. It is not adequate. Yes. But to serve the proper purpose of life insurance cover, we should take adequate life insurance cover. And what is the definition of adequacy? I just simply give an idea, Mr. Arun Kumar. Life insurance cover should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. It should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. Suppose, Arun Kumar sir, your annual income is around 20 lakhs a year. Then ideally speaking, you should have a life insurance cover of not less than 2 crore rupees. I can
Yes,
make
sir.
out from your face that you have not taken that level of life insurance cover.
No, sir.
Most of us have not taken. But you
Yes.
can take. In my time, at least, those facilities were not available, my dear friends. Only money back and endowment life insurance cover was available. But nowadays, Mr. Kumar, a very genuine insurance product is available in the market. That name is term insurance, TERM, term insurance. Kindly note it down.
Yes, sir.
Get the details from the website. Term insurance is a genuine insurance product where you can have adequate life insurance cover by paying hardly a nominal amount. Suppose your age is between 25 to 30, you can take a life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees, Mr. Arun Kumar, by paying a monthly premium of around 400 or 500 rupees, which anybody can afford.
Okay.
Earlier, it was not possible. Earlier, the only other products were available. That what those insurance products were linked to savings. But that I personally feel that were not, those products were not serving the purpose. That is why now I keep requesting, kindly consider taking adequate life insurance cover, and that too through term insurance. What I am telling you, I can't tell it to senior faculty members or dean of the management, because age is the parameter here. I tell you, age is very important in life insurance and investment as well. So early you take, lesser will be the premium. So I will request all the young faculty members like you, kindly don't keep the deferring of taking decision. In generally what we see, "Arey baba le lenge na, isne agle saal le lenge. What is the hurry? I am okay. I am absolutely okay. I am very young. What is going to happen with me?" Yes, you are right, sir. But anything can happen to anybody at any time.
Yes, sir.
And if that happens, unfortunately, you will not repent. I will not repent, but my family will repent. Had I taken adequate life insurance cover, at least my family would have got a reasonable or a good amount on which they can survive. That's the purpose of life insurance cover. So kindly take adequate life insurance cover, and that too timely, as early as you can. Second request is, मैं इसका नंबर ले लूं, मैं इसको व्हाट्सएप कर दूंगा भाई. Second request is, every family must have adequate health insurance cover. And Arun Kumar sir, people get confused normally. Even the educated people get confused.
Yes, sir.
I have taken life insurance cover. Why I should take health insurance cover? But my dear participant, the purpose of life insurance cover and health insurance cover is totally different. They are totally two different products, and we should take both. I am again emphasizing it, we should take both. The purpose of health insurance cover is that in case of some medical emergency or some accident, where we will go, Mr. Arun Kumar, we will be forced to go to the private hospitals, because the government hospital, unfortunately, is not in a good state of affair. It ought to be, but they are not. So where we will go? We will be forced to go to the private hospital. But there the problem is different. They charge exorbitantly. If a person remains there for 10, 12, 15 days, they may raise a bill of more than 10, 12 lakhs. From where that money will come, Arun Kumar sir? And we can't avoid treatment. We would definitely like to have best treatment. That is why I am requesting all the participants, kindly keep considering taking adequate health insurance cover. And here again, a very good insurance product is available in the market. That name is Floater Health Insurance Cover, FLOATER, Floater Health Insurance Cover, and it is also called Umbrella Health Insurance Cover. The beauty of this health insurance cover, Rupa Kapoor ma'am, is that when you take this health insurance cover, Mr. Arun Kumar, you have the leverage of adding not only your name, you can add your wife or spouse name in it. You can add the kid's name in it. You can even add your parents' name into the policy. So in one singular policy, all members of the family are covered. And if something happens to any member of the family, they can go to the best hospital available nearby, get the best treatment, come home recovered without paying anything. all payment will be made directly by the insurance company to the hospital. That's the beauty of taking a health insurance cover. So it should be, if you are in a metro city, it should be, ideally it should be 25 to 30 lakhs for the whole family. But if you are in 2 tier, 3 tier cities, then you can take a life insurance, a health insurance cover of around 15 to 20 lakhs. And here again, early you take, lesser will be the premium. So the second request is, kindly take adequate health insurance cover. Now the third, third thing I want to request to all of you is, kindly develop an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs for the family. Naturally, Arun Kumar sir will ask me why we should develop the emergency fund. Arun Kumar sir, you have been very lucky that your job continued during pandemic, but at the same, you continue to get salary from the university, but at the same time, you might be aware, lakhs of people had lost their job. Lakhs of people have got substantial reduction in their salaries and income. Businesses were closed, professions were closed, and not for one day, sir, not for today, for months together. So lakhs of people have passed through a very tough time. And this corona has not still yet gone, sir. It is still there. And in future, a new virus may come, a new disease may come. That is why, to safeguard that uncertainty, Arun Kumar sir, I am requesting all the participants, kindly develop an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs, which will serve the purpose that in case you lose the job temporarily for 6 months or you didn't get the salary or income, at least you can manage your monthly affairs, monthly expenses for that period. That's the purpose of developing emergency fund. And I am not saying you keep the emergency fund at home in currency form or in your bank saving account. You just keep that in your bank FD. At least you will get reasonable amount and the money will be handy. That's the purpose of developing emergency fund. So the third thing I have requested is, every family must have an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs. Arun Kumar sir, these three things, I again repeat, adequate life insurance cover, adequate health insurance cover, and an emergency fund. These three things are going to extend security to you and your family. It is not related to your prosperity. I kindly mind it. But I again repeat, security is more important, rather get precedence before prosperity. So once you develop security, then naturally, Sahu sir, we should think about developing or having some prosperity. How we can have prosperity? Arun Kumar sir, can you tell me what is the main source of money for all of us, particularly middle class, salary class person? What is the two main sources of money? Can you tell me?
So one is work.
Yeah.
And it's totally depend upon the work which we do, sir. I feel like that.
Sir, you are right, but you are not right. Because normally people don't think about the second aspect of the money. You are absolutely right. The main source of money, Rupa Kapoor ma'am, is the money we earn through service, through profession, through business. But my dear sir, there is other source also. What is that source? My money should also earn money for me.
Multiplying.
That normally we don't take credence to. We don't give credence to. But that is, I feel, sir, it is equally important that we should give equal importance that my money should also earn money for me. Because I keep telling that the second aspect of the money is going to contribute to your prosperity to a greater extent. Your salary may, of course, will be the prime source of money for all of us. But your salary may not be the only source for your prosperity, my dear participant. The other aspect is that your money should also earn money for me, for us. And how our money can earn money for us, that will be the emphasis of today's session. So the Rupa Kapoor ma'am, just tell me, when we get salary, what we do with the salary? What we do? a majority of our income goes into taking care of our monthly expenses. Am I right, ma'am?
Expensive. Yes, sir.
Majority of our salary goes into taking care of our monthly expenses. But ma'am, we Indians have a typical DNA. You
Yes,
might
sir.
have observed. We sincerely try not to spend all the money which we have earned. Sincerely, everybody tries. Even a person who is earning 10,000 a month will sincerely try
Yes,
to take
sir,
away
yes.
some money. Maybe 500, maybe 700. But he or she will definitely try to take away some money. And the money which we don't spend out of income, what we call it, ma'am, it is called savings. उसे हम बचत कहते हैं. It is called savings. And we all save it. And you might be aware, ma'am, Indians are still one of the best savers in the world. We do save money. And that is in our DNA. That is in our DNA. Everybody tries. So we are one of the best savers in the world, Arun Kumar sir. But unfortunately, we lack in consistency. What typically happens with us, we do save, but we are not regular in saving. This month, Arun Kumar sir might have saved 10,000. Next month, it might be 8,000. Third month, it might be 12,000. Fourth month, it might be even 5,000. And fifth month, it might even be 0. So we are not consistent with the saving. So the first request I want to make all the young participants like Mr. Arun Kumar, of course, I can't request it to Rupa ma'am. She is pretty senior. Kindly identify an amount of saving which you can save out of your income. Kindly identify. And Rupa ma'am, I am not saying that you should save 20%, 30%, 40%. I am not prescribing anything. What I am saying is, kindly identify an amount which you can comfortably save. Suppose Mr. Arun Kumar said that his salary is 50,000 and his normal expenses are 40,000. That what he indirectly is saying is that he can save 10,000. Mr. Arun Kumar, then my request is very simple but emphatic. Kindly save this 10,000 upfront. The moment you get it, take it away. Forget that you have got 50,000. You simply feel that you have got $40,000. I know it is tough, it is not easy, but at the same time, sir, it is not impossible. And for bigger achievement, we have to sacrifice something. We have to commit ourselves. We have to make some discipline with ourselves. So you have to develop a discipline. Come what may, I will save this amount every month without fail. This promise you have to make. Very simple promise, but very tough promise, sir. Talking to this promise is very easy, but making it every month is tough. But again, I repeat, it is not impossible. So kindly identify an amount of saving every month, then religiously save that amount, come what may. This is the first request I want to make all the young participants. And second one is, kindly keep increasing saving minimum by 10%. And again, sir, it is possible. Rupa ma'am knows it very well. It is possible. How it is possible? We get increment, we get DA, we get allowances, or income keep increasing every year. With the increase in income, we must increase your saving every year. And ideally, it should be minimum 10% every year. Suppose this year, Mr. Arun Kumar, you are saving 10,000 a month. Next year, it ought to be 11,000 a month. And third year, it should be 12,100. I know it is not so easy, but it is not, again, not impossible. And things which are possible, we must do. This is my request to all of you. So the second request is kindly keep increasing your savings minimum by 10% every year. And that again, sir, we do. But now the next question arises, Arun Kumar, sir. What we do with the savings which we are making every year, every month? What we do? Sir, there are two options with you. One option is you are saving every month religiously, whatever amount you have identified. But what typically you are doing, which you should not do, you must not do it. You are taking out that amount of saving from your bank account, you are getting salary and keeping at home every month in currency form. And you are happy that you are getting salary, or you are having a good amount of saving at home. Or keeping that, leaving that amount in your bank account. My dear sir, we should never do this, because it is a gross injustice to ourselves, to our family, and to our country as a whole. because saving the amount and keeping that at a home, it is a gross injustice, sir. We must not do it. Of course, most of us are not doing it. I know Mr. Arun Kumar must not be doing it, but we should not do it. Now, the second question arises, then what to do? If we should not this, then what to do? Yes, there is other option with all of us, and we must get those option in our practice. And what is that option, Mr. Arun Kumar? We should put our savings, number one, into acquisition of some assets, value of which will increase in future.
Yes.
And or we should put our savings into some financial instrument which will give us regular and periodical return in future. And Rupa ma'am knows it very well. The process of putting savings into some assets or in some financial instrument, where Arun Kumar, what we call it? It is called investment. It is called investment. So you have necessarily to be saver at the first stage, but at the second stage, you have to be an investor also. So my dear participants, saving is the first stage, first step, and investment is the second step of your prosperity. And both the steps are necessary, sir. If you save and don't invest, better not to save, enjoy your money. So you should not only save, but also invest. This is a very crux of your prosperity, that for prosperity, you have to be an investor. And Rupa ma'am, most of us are investors as well. You, Rupa ma'am and Sahu sir, must be putting their savings into one or the other form in one or other product. So we are all investors. Those who are earners are all, most of us are investors as well. But unfortunately, Arun Kumar sir, I don't know whether you will agree with me or not, or at least Rupa ma'am will not agree with me. I know. Unfortunately, most of the middle class, salary class persons, people like you and me, despite their sincere efforts in saving and investment, throughout their life, they just remain money accumulators. They don't become wealth creators. Most of us just remain money accumulators in our life. We don't remain wealth creators. But my dear participant, you must understand and appreciate that unless we are wealth creators, prosperity will not come. Mind it. Prosperity, Rupa ma'am, will never come through money accumulation. It is very clear. We should understand it very clearly. So first, we should understand what is the difference between money accumulation and wealth creation, Mr. Arun Kumar. And for that, kindly permit me to take your name again. I just want to share one example with all the participants, taking Mr. Arun Kumar's name, only because I can see him. That's the only purpose. Don't take it otherwise that way. Mr. Arun Kumar has got 1 lakh rupees with him. Of course, he has got much more than 1 lakh rupees. But just for example's sake, he has got 1 lakh rupees with him. Now he goes with a good bank for 1 year FD, bank fixed deposit. And Arun Kumar sir, you are aware that the present bank interest rate for FD is around 6% for 1 year. Around 6%, maybe 5.5%, but we take it 6%. So it is around 6%. You go with the bank FD for 6 years. After 1 year, when I meet you and just ask you, sir, what happened to your FD? Mr. Arun Kumar is very happy, Rupa ma'am. He says that he has earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest on his FD. Am I right, sir? Am I right? Because 6% interest, 1 year FD, 6%. And you are happy. When I just ask him, sir, are you right? You might say, so what is wrong with you asking this question? I am absolutely right. You can see my passbook. I have got a credit of 6,000 rupees as bank interest income, and my money has been given back by the bank. You are right, sir, but you are not right. How you are not right? Because you literally ignore two very important factors while analyzing return on your investment. And Arun Kumar sir, FD is also an investment. And what these factors are? The first and foremost factor which we must take into account while analyzing return on investment is inflation. Mehengai. Rupa ma'am, talk about the inflation right day in, day out, at home, in the staff room, wherever we go. The hot topic nowadays, Rupa ma'am, is inflation only. अरे बाबा महंगाई बहुत बढ़ रही है, खाने का दाम बहुत बढ़ रहा है, पेट्रोल बहुत बढ़ रहा है. We are talking about this. We talk about the inflation, but we don't take inflation into account while analyzing our return. And first, we should understand, Mr. Arun Kumar, what is inflation? What is inflation? Simply speaking, what is inflation? Rupa ma'am, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. Am I right, sir? Inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. That's it, simply speaking, inflation. So last year when Mr. Arun Kumar was going for 1 year bank FD, he had got 1 lakh rupees. Instead of going for bank FD, had he purchased some items or some goods or might have availed some services? Arun Kumar sir, would you be able to purchase same items, same goods, same services after 1 year at 1 lakh rupees? Would you be able to get it? No, it will not be possible. It will not be possible. Yes. Because of inflation, prices of those items or services must have increased. Suppose the inflation rate has been 5%. What does it mean, sir? It simply means that last year, Mr. Arun Kumar, whatever he could have purchased from 1 lakh rupees, after 1 year for the same item, same goods and same services, Mr. Arun Kumar will need to pay not 1 lakh rupees, but 1,05,000 rupees. Am I right, sir?
Yes.
Because of inflation, you will need to pay 1,05,000 because the inflation rate has been 5%. Now you see the proposition, sir, you are very happy when you earn 6,000. But in reality, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. Am I right, sir? Out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. But still Mr. Arun Kumar is happy. He says, okay, let it be, but still I have got 1,000 rupees with me. Yes, sir, you do have. But then again, there is other factor as well that we should consider, and that is again very necessary to understand. And what that factor, Rupa ma'am? Taxability. Most of the income and return, Sahu sir, are taxable under Income Tax Act. Government do take income tax on most of the items. And you might not be aware, aware, Rupa ma'am, on FD, whatever you earn is liable, you are liable to pay tax as per your slab. There is no concession. That 10,000, sir, is applicable to saving bank account only SB account, not on FD. So Mr. Arun Kumar had earned 6,000. He will need to pay income tax of as per his slab. And suppose he's in 20% bracket house, sir, then he will need to pay 1,200 rupees as income tax also. And South sir, in my time at least, and Chari sir times, at least we could have avoided it. Let it be. कौन सा income tax वाला मेरे घर पे आएगा income tax लेने? But now, sir, because of technology, Arun Kumar sir, all such information is automatically available with the income tax department. So now you can't avoid it. You will have to pay income tax. So now you see the proposition. You were very happy when you earned 6,000 at bank interest on your FD. But in reality, Rupa ma'am, out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation, and 1,200 he need to pay as income tax. Did he get really anything? No. Rather, 200 rupees has gone out of his pocket. That is a fact of our life. Most of our investments, sir, most of our investment like this only. We are happy with what we get, but in reality, we get nothing. And unless and until we get some real return on investment, Mr. Arun Kumar, you will not create wealth. Mind it, it is very clear. You have to earn some real return on your investment. And what is real return, Mr. Arun Kumar? Just note down the formula, at least for students, I am sharing with you, not for you. Real return equal to notional return, that is 6,000, minus inflation, minus tax liability.
Sir, can you please repeat it once again, sir?
Real return equal to notional return.
Okay.
Minus inflation.
Yes, sir.
Minus tax liability.
Thank you, sir.
So here you should appreciate you got nothing. But I take this example forward. Suppose the interest rate is 8%. Suppose interest rate is 8%. In that scenario, you will get 8,000 as interest, bank interest on your FD. Again, keeping inflation at 5%, out of 8,000, 5,000 will be eaten by the inflation. There will remain 3,000, sir. But out of 3,000, if he's in 20% bracket, 1,600 he will need to pay as income tax. 20%, na? But even after that, there remain 1,400. And my dear Arun Kumar sir, that 1,400 is your real income. Mind it. This 1,400 is your real income. And unless and until, I want to emphasize with all the participants, unless and until we earn some real return on our investments, we will not be prosper, we will not be creating wealth. So my dear young participant like Professor Arun Kumar and all young participants, I want to say, kindly seriously analyzing all your investments and make sure that you earn some real return on your investment. It may be 1%, it may be 2%, it may be 5%. That's a different story. But you must not be satisfied with the notional return. And most of the middle class person do satisfied with the notional return. And kindly think very seriously that we all must earn some real return on our investment. Now the question arises, Arun Kumar sir, why most of us are middle class, salary class person are sheer money accumulators? Why we are? There has to be some reason, na, sir? We are all educated, we know everything. Still even after that, we are money accumulators. We don't become wealth creators. What is the reason? Sir, reason is there. South sir knows this reason very well. I don't know whether Arun Kumar sir knows it very well, but South sir knows it very well. Mr. Chari knows it very well. But the reason lies not outside somewhere else, my dear friends. The real reason lies in our mind. South sir, India, we middle class, salary class person have got a typical mindset. What is that? Arey Baba, we don't want to take any risk. Arey no, don't talk about the risk. We don't want to take any risk. This is the mindset of most of the middle class, salary class person. That is why most of us are sheer money accumulators. Mind it, sir. You may or may not agree, Sausa, with me. But that the crux of the reason is that most of the middle class, salary class person don't want to take risk. What we talk about risk is not our domain. It is a domain of businessmen, industrialists. They take the risk and they prosper. No, that is a wrong thinking, my dear friends. We also have right to be prosperous, sir. But it can be done only by understanding the concept that in most of the investment, risk is there, Arun Kumar sir. In most of the investment, risk is there. So first, kindly appreciate, South sir, I am addressing to young participants. First, kindly appreciate that in investment, risk is there. Most of the investment has got some risk. Maybe some high risk, maybe moderate risk, maybe low risk. But most of the investment have got risk, except some governmental small saving schemes that are few and far, sir. That would not make you prosper. Of course, you should invest in those schemes as well. But you will have to go beyond that as well. That is why I keep telling, kindly appreciate and understand, my dear young participants, that in investment, risk is there. निवेश में जोखिम है, ये पक्का आप मान के चलिए. Yes, risk is there in investment. Then the next question arises, South sir, if we accept the risk is there in investment, okay, let it be. Then how we can manage our risk? Agar risk hai, then the next question will come in my mind automatically, sir. I want to manage my risk. I want to minimize my risk. That is very natural. Yes, my dear participants, we can manage our risk. We can minimize our risk. I want to give you confidence that all investors can minimize their risk and manage their risk. But at the same time, Arun Kumar sir, risk can never be zero, sir. Some degree of risk will always be there. but still we can manage it, we can minimize it. How we can do it? I'm just saying it a very simple formula with all of you. And Sausa will laugh at me, I know, because the formula is very simple, 2-word formula. Just sharing with all of you. If you want to note it down, Mr. Arun Kumar. Formula is think, understand and invest. सोच कर, समझ कर, निवेश कर. Think, understand and invest. Mr. Arun Kumar, I have used 2 words only. Think and understand. The first word is think. Naturally, what we have to think? We have to think 2 things about ourselves. We have to think 2 things about ourselves. The first is, what is my risk appetite? How much risk I can take? And Sau sir, every individual has got different risk appetite. Every individual has got. You have got a different risk appetite, and Rupa ma'am has got different one. Mr. Arun Kumar has got different one. Chari sir has got different one. Every individual has got different risk appetite. So we must understand what is my risk appetite, and we should take our investment decision according to my risk appetite only. And unfortunately, one mistake, Sau sir, we all do, particularly middle class, salary class person. You might have done it. I don't know whether you will agree with me or not. 90% of our investments are being we follow others while making our investment decisions. That is wrong practice. Suppose the head of the department of management is filling some form, and you go to their room and you just ask him, sir, what you are doing? He says that he's investing some money, which is a very good product. You know, he's a very smart person as far as investment is concerned. So what you will think? Let me also invest something in that product. That is a wrong practice, sir, when we all do. We must not follow others while taking our investment decision, because, sir, because he might have different risk appetite than yours. Then why I should follow others? I should take my investment decision strictly as per my risk appetite. So kindly understand that we have to take your investment decision strictly as per your risk appetite. And one more thing, Sau sir and Mr. Arun Kumar, I want to tell you, all of you, risk appetite keep changing with the age. It is not a stagnant factor in our life. It keeps changing, Sau sir. When we are young, we can take risk. We have got bigger risk appetite. But when you become mature, our risk appetite has become less and a bit. But when we are moving towards the journey of 55 or 60, our risk appetite will literally become 0. So kindly understand, during first, Mr. Arun Kumar, if you can open your video, this is a very important thing for you. When you are young,
I don't open up your video.
when
Yes, sir.
when you are in the age bracket of 25 to 40, how sir, I keep telling young participants, Mr. Arun Kumar, this is the golden period of your life. Kindly make best use of it, because that luxury I don't have. That luxury Chari sir might not have. Even Sau sir might not have that luxury. But you are very lucky that you are in the first phase of your life. In this phase of life, my dear participant, you should save as much as you can, because you have started earning. But Sau sir, their liabilities are relatively lesser. So they can save as much as they can. And then you should invest your saving into the best available product where you earn maximum real return. And Arun Kumar sir, I am not repeating again, return means real return. So you should try to see that you earn maximum real return on your investment, even by taking some risk. But that risk has to be calculated. It should not be a blind risk. Why I am encouraging you to take risk? Because you have got a luxury of time frame, sir. You have got 25, 30 years to go, which at least I don't have. At least, oh, Sau sir is one phase. Great, sir. Great. So that luxury you have, sir. So kindly, Sahu sir, in this phase of life, kindly think of saving as much as you can. Kindly think of investing your saving into the best available product in the market. Even by taking some risk, your focus should be maximum real return on your investment. And Sahu sir, then come the second phase, that is between 40 to 55. In that phase of life, of course, our increase has increased, but so is the liabilities. Children have grown up, a lot of other things have happened in our life. So in that phase of life, we should continue to focus on real return, but we should also keep an eye on the liquidity aspect, because we will need money in that phase of life on so many occasions. And Sahu sir, then comes the third phase, Rupa ma'am. When you enter 55 and above, your thinking automatically changes. Automatically, Arey Baba, forget about the return. I want to make my money safe, which I have accumulated from 25 to 55. That is very natural. So because my risk-taking capacity had literally become zero, so I can't take a risk. My focus would be only and only to make my money safe, which I have accumulated from 25 to 55. So during different phases of life, we should take our investment decision, Rupa ma'am, strictly according to our risk appetite and age, definitely. Second thing we have to think about is time horizon of investment, Mr. Arun Kumar. That is equally important. Normally, we don't give credence to time horizon. Arey Baba, jab paisa aaya, invest kar diya. Rupa ma'am ke paas, whenever Rupa ma'am got money, she invested it. Without thinking that Rupa ma'am will need money not in one go in life, Rupa ma'am. You will need money on many occasions for many milestones in your life. That is why time horizon of investment is equally important. And for this to make you understand, Mr. Arun Kumar, again I am taking your name. I just want 1 hour from your side, 1 hour next Sunday. Would you give me, sir? Next Sunday, 1 hour.
Sir, sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Don't worry, I am not coming to your home.
Yeah, definitely, sir. You are welcome.
But I want one, of course, House of sir also, because House of said I am in the first page only. So next Sunday, kindly request your all family members to be with you. Request all of family members should be with you. Have one paper and pencil with you, paper, some pen with you. Make 3 columns on the paper. First column, second column, and third column.
Yes.
In the first column, you kindly jot down what are the milestones in your life. In the first column, you jot down what are the milestones on your life. And what are the common milestones, Rupa ma'am, in our life, middle class, salary class person. I just start enumerating. Marriage is the first milestone. Naturally, Sahu sir, marriage is the first milestone. Of course, you have come out of it because you must be married by now. So marriage is the first milestone. Then second one is birth of the children celebration. Naturally, second milestone. After that, admission of the children in a good public school. Naturally. After that, your family will force you to get your own house, family house. Naturally, it's very natural. Every family would like you to have your own house. Then after that, every family will like you to have your 4-wheeler if you have not got so far. If you have not got so far. Then one more thing has happened, Rupa ma'am, nowadays, which was not in my times, but now it is very common. Common milestone. What is that? Arun Kumar sir, can you tell me? Vacations. Every family likes to go on vacations. Arey Baba, you are in Belgaum only. Go out of Karnataka, go to Tamil Nadu, go to Kerala, go to Gujarat, go to Rajasthan. And why limit to India only? Go beyond India, Switzerland, USA. Naturally, it's very natural. So vacation has also become an important milestone nowadays. And after that, some years, Mr. Arun Kumar, when children are grown up, what is the next most important milestone in our lives? Sahu sir, higher education and professional education of children. That is very important milestone in every middle class, salary class life. Once education is over, then what is next? Marriage of the children. Naturally, we have to go for the marriage of the children. Rupa ma'am, that is next thing. And last thing, Sahu sir, very important thing is living retirement life. living retirement life is one of the most important milestones. And unfortunately, I feel that you don't have pension in those who have joined after 2004. Arun Kumar sir, do you have pension? Do you have pension?
No, sir.
Pension is not there. Most of the even state government, central government now pension is not there. Oh, Chari sir has, of course, he is a very senior person. Chari sir is very lucky he is having pension. So that way his retirement life is secured. But what about you who don't have pension? What you will do for the retirement life? And Rupa ma'am, now typically what is happening in India, average life of the Indian is increasing like anything. South sir, normally people live up to 75, 80. It means after retirement, you will be living almost 25, 30 years. What we do with the retirement life, how we manage our affairs? What we normally do, we accumulate lot of money for the retirement life. We get some superannuation benefits as well. We club all those money, invest somewhere, get some regular return, and we live our retirement. That is a normal course of living retirement. Am I right, sir? This is a normal course of living retirement life. So retirement life is also one of those. Kindly in the first phase, in the first column, Mr. Arun Kumar, kindly jot down all the milestone in your life, and I may give you leverage. Whatever you want to add, you can add on. No problem. I don't have any inhibition that you should not add this one or that one. Second column, against each column, or against each milestone in the second column, Mr. Arun Kumar, kindly start putting the period when these milestones are likely to happen in your life. Again, idea only. Precisely, of course, you can't make it. Suppose someone says that I am not married and I am likely to be married after 2 years. Put it 2 years against marriage. Then likewise, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25, 30 years. Start putting the period against each milestone in the second column. And third column, now very important thing, sir. Arun Kumar sir, I am requesting you, third column. Against each milestone, start putting the money you will need for each milestone. Suppose you say that for marriage you will need 5 lakhs, put it 5 lakhs, no problem. But then again, so suppose sir, you are saying that you will need 5 lakhs after 2 lakhs, after 2 years. South Sahib knows it very well that today you might be thinking of 5 lakhs for marriage, but when marriage happened after 2 years, sir, because of inflation, 5 lakhs become 5.50 lakhs. Because everything will keep going, and the prices will increase. So likewise, you start putting the period against each milestone. Two very important milestones, Arun Kumar sir, I want to share with all of you, and I want you to understand it very carefully. So sir, higher education and professional education of children is one of the most important milestone in our life. And suppose today, Mr. Arun Kumar, suppose today, a good MBA degree costs around 20 lakhs. Am I right, sir? Around 20 lakhs. 2-year degree, around 20 lakhs. After 25 years, when your children will grown up and will be ready for higher education, have you ever imagined what you will need for each child's higher education? Have you imagined, sir? The MBA degree today costs around 20 lakhs, how, sir? After 25 years, same degree will cost you not less than 2 crore rupees per child. Minimum, I am telling you, sir, it might be even more. So if you have got 2 children, 4 crore you will need only for the higher education and professional education of the children. And after education is over, marriage, minimum 1 crore for their marriage. Last, retirement life. Very important thing I am telling you, all of you, young participants particularly, and the students should also understand. Suppose, Arun Kumar sir, you say that you are at 30 today and your monthly expenses are around 30,000. You are managing your affairs with 30,000. When you become 60 after 30 years, so sir, mind it, understand very carefully. After 30 years, when you become at 60, can you imagine how much you will need per month for your monthly expenses? So sir, have you ever given a thought to it? Today you are managing your affairs with 30,000 at the age of 30. After 30 years, Mr. Arun Kumar, when you become 60, you will need not less than 2 lakh rupees per month for the same standard of living. Same standard of living. No extravaganza, no high-fi. It's the same standard of living. You will need 2 lakhs of rupees. Means around 25 lakhs per year. 2 lakh multiplied by 12, 24, 25. So you will need 25 lakhs at the first year of your retirement. From where that money will come? That money will come automatically from the return of the retirement corpus which you have developed over a period of time. So how much retirement corpus you should develop? I just give you thumb rule, sir. Note it down. Very thumb rule, sir. Your retirement corpus should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. Arun Kumar, sir. It should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. Yes. Suppose your expenses are 25 lakhs, as we have just discussed. Multiply by 20. How it becomes, sir? South Service calculating 5 crore rupees. You will need retirement corpus of not less than 5 crore rupees if you don't have pension. You are not very lucky like Dr. Chari. You will need retirement corpus of not less than 5 crore rupees. It is minimum. I am telling you, South sir. Ideally, it should be 30 times, means around 7.50 to 8 crore. Because your normal return on your retirement corpus will be around 5 to 6%. That will be around 25 lakhs. So you should develop a corpus of 5, to put it 5 crore against the retirement plan. Last column. Now Arun Kumar sir, don't keep your video off. Just for 2 minutes, next 2 minutes. Yes. Just for 2 minutes.
No, sir, no issues.
I want to make you scary now.
Sir.
Make the last column total. And
yes,
you will be surprised, my dear friends. Yes. A normal middle class, salary class person, South sir, who is around 30 today, will need not less than 10 to 12 crore rupees in his life or her life only for their milestone. And South sir, I have excluded monthly expenses from 30 to 60 years. So you will need not less than 10 to 12 crore. Of course, you get scary, I know. But I want to make you aware. Then from where that money will come, 10 to 12 crore, South sir, from where it will come? Rupa ma'am might be lucky enough going to KBC Amitabh Bachchan show winning 7 crore rupees. But then how many of us will win? How many? Only Rupa ma'am, not all of us. So what about us? From where we will get the money? Yes. Now I want to give you confidence to all of you, Mr. Sahu, Mr. Arun Kumar, and all young participants. You all can have 10 to 12 crore rupees for your milestone in your life, provided, underline the word provided, you start seriously working on your savings and investment right from today. Whatever has been gone, forget about that. At least from today onwards, you should be very, very serious about your savings and investment, and your whole focus should be to get maximum real return on your investment. One more thing I want to, and the chart which we have just prepared, Arun Kumar sir, first column, second column, and third column. Can you tell me what this chart is called? It is called financial plan. It is called financial plan. And Rupa ma'am, I keep emphasizing in my session, every family must have their financial plan. And South sir, it is not a rocket science. We can do it very easily. Just we discuss. Sit with your family, discuss everything thread-bread, and then make out the first column, second column, three column, put the milestones, period, and the money. Financial plan is ready. And once you have financial plan, ideally speaking, you should frame it and keep it in your drawing room. Every morning when you wake up, first go and salute it. Oh, this is my financial plan. I have to achieve that. I have to achieve those things. It is practical, it is possible, because psychologists say, Rupa ma'am, you are a professor and you know it very well better than me. Psychologists say that when targets are clear and distinct, it is most likely that you will achieve those targets. because then you will work very hard. For those targets are very clear. So for you, financial targets are very clear through your financial plan. So kindly make your financial plan. And I again repeat, every family must have their financial plan. So second thing I have requested, apart from risk appetite, is time horizon of investment. That is equally important. Second word I had used in the formula of risk management is understand. So sir, you have to understand the product where you are investing. Whether product broadly matches with your risk appetite. Because there may be some products which are very good, but they may or may not match it with the risk appetite. Those products are not good for you because broadly that doesn't match it with your risk appetite. Likewise, the product should also match according to your time horizon. Suppose, how sir, you will need 10 lakhs rupees after 5 lakhs for some milestone. Product is very good, but product will give return after 15 years. So product is very good, but it may not suit you for that particular milestone. So kindly understand that your product has to weigh it on the strength of your risk appetite and time horizon of investment. And one more thing I want to tell here is that is eighth wonder of the world, Arun Kumar sir. This is rule of compounding. Kindly note it. Rule of compounding is eighth wonder of the world. And if you understand it and practice it in your life, I can promise you, Arun Kumar sir, you will have least financial problem in your life. Rule of compounding is very simple. It's the magic. It's the eighth wonder of the world. And what is rule of compounding in investments, how sir? Simply speaking, very simply speaking, you have to make a promise with yourself that whatever and whenever any return or income will accrue or come on my investment, I will never use those income or return for my vacation, for my family celebration, or for anything else. That promise has to be there. And it is not an easy task, sir. What promise you have to make? That whether I get 5,000 as return on my investment or whether I get 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs for my return, I will never use that return for my personal purposes. What I will do, I will simply club that return or income with my regular investment and reinvest. That promise has to be there. Of course, very tough task, because when you will get money, so sir, lot of temptation will be there, where your family will force you to go on vacation, have a new house, a bigger house, whatever, lot of temptation will be there. But you have to make a promise with yourself that I will never use any return on my investment for my personal purpose. I will simply club it and reinvest it. And if you do it for 10-15 years, how sir, I can give you guarantee, I can promise you that down the line after 15-20 years, you will be happily surprised that your return or income portion has become much greater than your original investment. But that will happen, Rupa ma'am, not today, not tomorrow. It is a journey after 15-20 years. And for that, how sir, I keep telling in my sessions, investment success requires your patience. It requires your patience. It is not a gamble that you invest somewhere and get tomorrow some good. No, it may happen in some few products, but that is not the rule. Rule is very simple. Investment success requires your patience. So kindly practice rule of compounding in your investment decisions. Last 10-15 minutes, Arun Kumar sir. Do I have 10-15 minutes?
No issue, sir. You can carry on, sir.
Thank you, sir. Last 15 minutes, we will discuss what are the investment products available for the middle class, salary class person. That is equally important, how sir, because we have discussed about the basic things. But now, practically speaking, what are the products available for all of us? Yes, There are a number of products available for all of us. And the first and foremost product available, Rupa ma'am, available for the middle class, salary class person is governmental small saving schemes. Governmental small saving scheme. And in governmental small saving scheme, first and foremost scheme, I feel personally, sir, I don't know whether you have started the investment in that scheme or not, but if you have not, you have done something, you have missed something, sir. The product name is Public Provident Fund Account, PPF. Very good scheme of the government of India. It is for 15 years. Minimum amount you can deposit every year 500 rupees. Maximum you can deposit 1.50 lakhs. 7.10% government of India interest giving even today. It is compounding every year. Two very small things I want. It can be opened with any bank or post office. Two very small things I want to tell you. Arun Kumar sir. If you are in a position, kindly open PPF account if you are not so far. And if you are in a position, kindly deposit 1.50 lakhs at the beginning of the financial year itself. That is before 5th of April. Every year. Why? Because if you deposit it before 5th of April, you will earn interest for the whole year, sir. But because of any reason, if you are not in a position to deposit total amount of 1.50 in one go, then whenever you deposit in this scheme, you should deposit in PPF before 5th of every month. Kindly mind it, sir. It should be deposited before 5th of every month, because if you deposit after 5th, you will not get the interest for that month, sir. People are generally not aware. And these are very small things, but very important thing. It will change your total interest income. So kindly deposit, kindly open a PPF account and deposit 1.50 lakhs. Second one is National Saving Certificate. Arun Kumar sir, National Saving Certificate, NSC.
Yes, sir.
I don't have time, so I will just mention the names. You can get the details through website. National Saving Certificate. Third one is Kisan Vikas Patra.
Kisan Vikas Patra.
Kisan Vikas Patra. This is third scheme of the government of India.
Yes.
Fourth one is, if you have girl child in your home, sir, I don't know whether you have girl child or not, but if you have girl child or not, whenever you have it, kindly open girl special scheme is there, that is called Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Rupa ma'am, I don't know whether Rupa ma'am is here or not. Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana, very good scheme of that is meant only for the education and marriage of girl child. And government of India has promised, sir, that it will give maximum maximum return in this scheme. Even today, the return is 7.60%, which is not in any of the schemes. 7.60 guaranteed return on Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Minimum amount you can deposit is 250 rupees. Maximum amount you can deposit in a year is 1.50 lakhs. Very good scheme of the government of India. Then after that, governmental securities where you can invest. And for that matter, Arun Kumar sir, RBI has just recently started a portal which is called RBI Retail Central. RBI Retail Central. You go, understand the scheme,
Yes.
Register yourself, and then start investing a very, very small amount in government securities. And after that, RBI also keep issuing tax-free and taxable bonds where you can invest. After that, government has also started a new channel for the government undertakings taking loan from the public. That channel is called Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2. These are all governmental, these are all under the umbrella of governmental small saving scheme. And sir, The beauty of these schemes are that there is no risk at all. No risk at all. Whatever government has promised you, Rupa ma'am, government will give you. When the scheme matures, whatever money remains with the scheme, you will get that money. And most of the PPF is AAA scheme. PPA is AAA scheme. Exempt, no tax at all at any level. And I personally feel, sir, I don't know whether Rupa ma'am will agree with me or not. A normal middle class, salary class person should invest 15 to 20% of their investment in governmental schemes. Because they may not give you extraordinary return, Rupa ma'am, but they will give you reasonable return with 100% safety without risk. That's the beauty of governmental schemes. And after that, all other investment products have got risk now. Mind it, sir. Arun Kumar, sir, all
Yes,
other products have got risk. But before that, I want to tell you one thing. Have you ever heard about the horses race or have you seen on TV? How, sir? Have you seen on TV horses race? घोड़ों की दौड़ कभी देखी है आपने? टीवी पर बहुत आती है या कभी आप फिजिकली कभी गए हो? रूपा मैम ने जरूर देखी है, हाँ कर रही है. उसका एक गोल्डन रूल है. That golden rule of that, Rupa ma'am, you might not be aware. Don't put all your bet on single horse. कभी भी सारा पैसा एक घोड़े पर मत लगाइए. Try to spread your money with the different horses. क्योंकि अगर एक घोड़ा नहीं जीता दूसरा जीतेगा. The same rule applies with your investment also. Develop a basket of investment. Don't put your all money in one product only. Try to develop a basket of investment over a period of time. The second product is real estate and property where we can invest. And South sir, I am not an expert in real estate and property. Professor Charu is the expert in real estate. Next time, whenever you have got time, Professor Chari will get a session on real estate. But in real estate, risk is there. Kindly mind it. Risk is there. Secondly, you will need huge amount for investment in real estate. Thirdly, real estate investment is not active investment because it will take time to dispose of the property and get the return. So property in real estate option is available with you. How much you should invest? Professor Chari will tell you next time when he will take a detailed session on property. Now the third product available for all of you is, and Rupa ma'am will all, I know Rupa ma'am and not only Rupa ma'am, all female participants will now be very happy when I start talking about the third option. Third option is gold. You see the face of Rupa ma'am now. Every female participant are passionate about the gold. Arey Baba, no problem. Gold, as much as gold we should have, no problem at all. For middle class, salary class person, Sahu sir and Pulin Kumar sir, gold has been a safety wall for all of us. We treat gold as a safety wall. If anything happens to us, at least we can, in distress time or a lot of, if any stress period, we can sell the gold or mortgage the gold and get the money. And Rupa ma'am, you might not be aware. Historically, we are giving gold to our daughters and on marriage. When marriage happens, we normally give. Why? What is the reason, South sir? Can you tell me? What is the reason why we give gold? There is a very deep thinking in that practice, sir. We give gold to the daughters because we feel that in future, in case some problem arises in their family, at least they can put the gold on sale or mortgage and they can come out of that problem. That's the deep purpose of giving gold to our daughters in marriage. But historically, Chari Sahib is agreeing with me. Historically, Rupa ma'am, you have purchased gold in jewelry or in physical for biscuits only. But nowadays times are changing, Mr. Arun Kumar. Digital gold is also available to all of you. You can invest in gold, South sir, in gold through digital form as well. And nowadays a very good government of India scheme is available. I am not talking South Sahib or any private scheme. Government, Rupa ma'am, you please note it down if you want to note it down. But not to Rupa ma'am, only to all of you. The government scheme name is, Arun Kumar sir, Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Very good scheme of the government of India, where you can invest minimum 1 gram gold price, Rupa ma'am, of present trench price, whatever government had identified, notified. And maximum you can invest is 4 kg gold. And government is giving you two benefits in this scheme, how sir? First benefit is you will get 2.5% guaranteed interest on your investment in this scheme. 2.5% guaranteed interest. Second benefit, Rupa ma'am, is whatever appreciation in the gold price, because the scheme is for 8 years. Whatever the appreciation in the gold, suppose today gold price is 50,000. After 8 year gold prices goes to 80,000. Then the difference between 85,000 to 50,000, that is 30,000, will also be given to you. So there are two benefits. One is guaranteed interest of 2.5%, and appreciation or in the gold price will also be shared with you. And here, gold will not be given to you physically, ma'am. Gold, a certificate will be issued by the government of India that Rupa ma'am purchases this much of gold with us. Government take care of it that this much of gold is with us all. Now, the scheme is for 8 years. And if you remain for 8 years invested in this scheme, Rupa ma'am, the tax liability will hardly be zero. Will hardly be zero because of capital gains. And it can be invested in this scheme. Investment can be made, Rupa ma'am, digitally as well as physically, online as well as offline. And if you go for online investment, Rupa ma'am, there is additional 50 rupee discount. Government is encouraging you to go for. Government is encouraging you to investment online only. And for that purpose, that government is giving additional discount of 50 rupees per gram. But to kindly understand, this is a very good scheme. You should invest. And apart from that, you can also invest in gold ETF of exchange traded funds, and mutual fund also have got some scheme. And I personally feel, sir, I may or may not be wrong. I may be wrong, but I personally feel, Rupa ma'am, normal middle class, salary class person should have 5 to 7% of their total investment in gold also. This is because that is a safety valve only. Last option, next 10 minutes only, last option is securities market, share bazaar, where we can invest. But Rupa ma'am, when I start talking about the share market, Sahu Saab may send a message in the chat box. Arey sir, don't talk about the share market. ये सट्टा बाजारी है, पता नहीं क्या होता है, how market goes down, we don't understand it, so don't talk about the share market. Yes sir, Sahu sir, you are right. I'm with you. Share bazaar is purely knowledge based market. Security market is purely knowledge based market, and those who don't have knowledge of the market should not invest into the security market, at least directly. Arun Kumar sir, I am telling to you as well. Never invest in security market unless and until you have knowledge of the market.
Yes.
Because it is purely knowledge-based market. But one thing I want to tell here, Sahu sir, security market has given 15% average return during last 35 years, which no other product has given.
Oh.
Average, not regular return, average return during last 35 years. Governmental securities has given hardly 7 to 7.5% return. Gold has given 5% to 7% return. Property has given a 7 to 8.5% return during last 35 years, whereas security market has given 15% average. But again, I am not encouraging any of you. Don't take it, I will get some commission if you invest in security market. That is not my purpose. My purpose is very simple, that security market is also an option where you can invest, but only when you have knowledge. At least directly you should not invest. We can discuss next time, Arun Kumar sir. We can discuss security market in detail, but that will take minimum 2 hours. So next time we can have a technical session on security market for your students also, where we can discuss in detail what the security market, how it functions, how it operates, all these things.
Yes.
One indirect way of investing in security market, Rupa ma'am, is mutual funds, which is indirect way of investing. Why I am telling indirect, Sao sir? Because you are not directly investing, you are giving your money to the experts. Fund manager, they are technically called fund manager. You are giving money to them. Why you are giving? South say, I'm a professor, I know everything about the economics, finance. Then why I should give the money, my money to the fund manager? Yes, sir, you may be right. But you may not be expert of the security market, which those people are. They are the experts of the market. They have got huge experience in the market. They live in the market 24 hours. That is why, South sir, they are better equipped to take a more beneficial investment decision than ours. That is why we are giving our money to them. That take our money, but the purpose is very simple, South sir. Mutual fund investment is not a social service. No, not at all. It is a pure proposition, Rupa ma'am, that you are giving your money to them with a clear expectation that they will invest your money, get the maximum return and give back to you. So it is not a social service. But one more thing I want to tell you about mutual fund here, South sir, you may not be aware. Normally people think that security mutual fund is related to security market only. No, this is not the case. In mutual fund, Rupa ma'am, there are schemes where your money will be invested into governmental securities. In mutual fund, there are schemes in the mutual fund where your money will be invested into property or real estate. In mutual fund, there are schemes where your money will be invested into international corporate, Mr. Arun Kumar. Google, Microsoft, you are sitting at your home, can be a part of Google, Microsoft. So, but majority of the mutual fund scheme, of course, is relating to security market. There are three major categories of security market schemes in the mutual fund. Sir, Arun Kumar sir. One is equity fund. Kindly note down. One is equity fund. Second is debt fund. And third one is hybrid fund. Actually, mutual fund is a very big topic. And next time when you give time, we will again have a third session on exclusively on mutual fund. That will take minimum 2 hours to discuss all the aspects of the mutual fund. But very briefly, I am talking to you. Three categories are there. One in equity fund. In equity fund, Arun Kumar sir, your money will be invested into the equity share of the corporates. Understand it very carefully. Your money will be invested into the equity share of the corporates, and where your money is invested in equity shares of the corporate, South sir, you should be very clear. Risk is greater because market moves up and down, so risk is greater. So those who don't want to take greater risk should not invest into the equity funds. But those who can take risk, like Mr. Sao and Arun Kumar, who are relatively young and they can take risk, they should invest into the equity shares. And their horizon should be minimum 5 years, How sir? If your investment horizon is less than 5 years, better not to invest in equity funds. So first category is equity fund, which is more suitable for the young investor like Mr. Sao and Mr. Arun Kumar, those who can relatively take a little bit higher risk with longer horizon. Second category, sir, HOD sir, it is debt fund, DEBT debt fund. In debt fund, your money will be given as a loan to the corporate. Mind it, sir, the difference is very clear. Sao sir. In equity fund, your money will be invested into the equity shares of the corporate. In debt fund, your money will be given as a loan to the corporates. It will not be invested into. And when a money is given to the loan to the corporate, return will relatively be reasonable, Sao sir, but risk will also be lesser. So those who don't want to take risk, much high risk, and are satisfied with the reasonable return, debt fund is the better proposition for them. And it is basically meant for the person who are above 40, 50, 60. And that category is meant only for those persons who don't want to take high risk, but they are aspiring for reasonable return. And third category, Arun Kumar sir, is hybrid funds. In hybrid funds, it is a typical fund. Some of your money will go to the equity funds house, sir, and some of money will go into the debt fund. So you are balancing both the things. You are aspiring for a little bit higher return, but at the same time, you are balancing your risk as well. So in hybrid fund, there are two subcategories. One is aggressive hybrid funds, where majority of your money will go to the equity fund and some money will go to the debt fund. On the contrary, conservative hybrid funds are there. In conservative hybrid funds, majority of your money will go to the debt market, debt fund, and a small portion will go to the equity fund. So a hybrid fund basically gives you leverage of aspiring for high return with relatively lesser risk. The magic of the in a mutual fund, I want to tell Mr. Arun Kumar and South now special emphasis. I need your emphasis from young participants like Mr. Arun Kumar and Mr. Sahu. Magic of the mutual fund is SIP, systematic investment plan. That's the magic of mutual funds. SIP simply means just like a recurring account which you have opened in bank or post offices. You are regularly investing in an amount, and minimum amount you can start investing through SIP is 100 rupees, sir, and maximum is no limit. HOD sir can invest 10 lakhs a month, no problem at all for him. So anybody can invest. A minimum amount you can start SIP is 100 rupees, and through SIP, Mr. Sahu sir, gradually, regularly you start investing a small amount, but over a period of time, after 10 years, 15 years, you may not think that there can be a huge corpus which you had developed over a period of time through SIP. And I just want to give one example, Sahu sir. I want your attention, both Mr. Arun Kumar and Mr. Sahu. I want to give an example how SIP works. An example is a factual proposition I'm sharing with you, but at the same time, because I would not give the name of the scheme and the mutual fund company, because HOD sir, that will be unfair on my part to that will be marketing of that scheme or company. That is why I am not mentioning the name and the company, but at the same time, facts are there. There is no deviation of facts. Facts are there. And Mr. Arun Kumar, kindly note down the facts.
Yes, sir.
One equity scheme was started in 1995. No doubt that
yes.
in 1995, one equity fund was started by a mutual fund company. And at that time, HOD sir was very young relative and very smart too. So he started an SIP of 10,000 rupees per month in that scheme, equity scheme. And right from 1995 to 2022, he has been a regular SIP investor of 10,000 every month in that scheme. And during that period, HOD sir, market might have gone up, market might have gone down. A lot of up and downs would have been in the market. But HOD sir was very smart and very regular. He not miss a single SIP. Right from 1995 to 2022, he had been investing 10,000 per month through SIP. I know HOD sir will not tell you the amount which he has got now. I can tell you him. He has got a corpus of 9.57 crore. That's the magic of SIP. But 2-3 things, Rupa ma'am is very clear. Don't get swayed away by the amount I have told you. 2-3 things are very, very pertinent here. HOD sir was very regular in SIP. He never missed a single SIP. Because typically what happens, South sir, when market goes up, a lot of people start investing into the market through SIP and normally. But when market goes down, Rupa ma'am get scary. Arey no baba, no, ab to nuksan ho raha hai mujhe to. She goes out of the market. Normally it happens with most of the investors. But my request to all of you is different, particularly Mr. Sau and Mr. Arun Kumar. Start an SIP, never stop it for next 15-20 years. If you continue with the SIP for 10, 15, 20 years, believe me, after 20 years, there will be a huge corpus which you could have developed. So consistency, regularity is a must for SIP success in your investments. And you now people can have more than one SIP. How, sir, I know a lot of my friends who have got not one SIP, more than one SIP. That is target oriented SIP. One SIP for purchasing a house after 5 years. One SIP for going on vacation after 7 years. One SIP for higher education of children after 25 years. Fourth SIP for retirement plan. So you can have more than one SIP. And now Rupa ma'am, on websites, SIP calculators are available. Suppose Rupa ma'am says, suppose Sau sir, of course, sorry, Sau sir is very young, that's why I'm taking name. Of course, Rupa ma'am is equally young, even today. So suppose Sau sir says that he will need 4 crore rupees for higher education of their children after 25 years. Go to the SIP calculator, put the target of 4 crore, put the period of 25 years. SIP calculator, Mr. Arun Kumar will give you idea how much SIP you should start right from today. So through SIP, we can develop a huge corpus and we can achieve most of our targets, and the money we need, we can have it through SIP. So SIP is a magic for middle class, salary class person, but again, 2, 3, consistency, regularity, and long term. These are the mantras of success in SIP. One more feature of SIP, and HOD sir, that might be relevant for you now. That is called SWP, Systematic Withdrawal Plan. It is opposite of SIP. So sir, I have just talked about the SIP. In SIP, we regularly invest a amount, but in SWP, HOD sir, we regularly withdraw some amount from our corpus. And that is basically, Rupa ma'am, is meant for your retirement life. And normally what happens in retirement life, HOD sir will agree with me, we don't get regular income. Except if you are a pensioner, that is a different story. But those people like you, Mr. Arun Kumar and Mr. Sau, you will not have any pension. You will not have any regular income when you get retired. How to live life? The first condition is you should develop a good retirement corpus, which we discussed when we were discussing about the financial plan. And suppose, Mr. Sau, you have developed a retirement corpus of 5 crore rupees, and now you are going to retire next month, no pension, how to live? You can simply write one line mail to the mutual fund company where you have a corpus. Kindly keep transferring a particular amount, maybe 1 lakh, maybe 2 lakh, maybe whatever it is. You suppose you need 20 lakh, 2 lakhs per month. You simply send a mail to them. Next month onwards, kindly keep transferring 2 lakh rupees per month from my corpus to my bank account on first. They will religiously do it, Rupa ma'am, because ultimately that is your money only. So first benefit will be Mr. Sau will have 2 lakh rupees in his bank account on first, and he will continue to live his life king size, which he was living when he was in service. This is the first benefit. Second benefit is your corpus, remaining corpus with them continue to get returned. So over a period of time, suppose after 10 years, you want to increase the monthly withdrawal from 2 lakhs to 3 lakh, that is possible because your corpus continue to get return on it. There are a lot of things I can share on mutual funds, but again, I know Mr. Arun Kumar is seeing his watch, and I'm also keeping an eye on my watch. Time is, I have taken a lot of your time. Last 2 things I want to tell you. Next time, whenever you give time, we will have detailed discussion on mutual fund also. There are a lot of other things to discuss on mutual fund as well. Last 2 things I want to tell you. And this I am requesting to HOD sir. Sir, I want your blessings. Blessing in the sense, one social responsibility we have got. We all have got some social. And Mr. Arun Kumar, have you heard about CSR?
Sir, corporate social responsibility.
Yeah. And have you heard about ISR?
Yes.
What is ISR? No. Individual social responsibility, my dear friend. Corporate social responsibility is there. But we have also got some social, we are very lucky, we are educated, we are running well, all these things. So we have also got some social responsibility towards the society. And what is that? I want to request HOD sir. Sir, kindly start a campaign through your students across your area. Make people aware and educate as much as you can that they should never invest their hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. This is a meanness going on in our country, Rupa ma'am. And who normally invests, HOD sir? Not educated people. Normally, those who are not so educated, your peon, your driver, your taxi driver, your electrician, your plumber, your milk vendor, all these people, they, because of temptation and knowing anything, only because of temptation that they will doubling their money in 3 years or 4 years, they will get high return, they invest their money and literally they lose their money. They will never get their money back because those who are running Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees are, I simply and use the harsh word, HOD sir, they are looters. They will simply loot the money and go. So I will request, sir, all of you, kindly start a campaign through your student across the area. Make as much people aware and educate that they should never invest their hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. And if they don't know anything, sir, HOD sir, they should simply put their money in bank and post office. At least their money will be safe. So kindly start. This is your social responsibility. And last thing I want to tell you, again through HOD, Rupa ma'am, kindly put your video on just for next 1 minute. This HOD sir is saying, I am not saving. What HOD sir is saying? Prosperity is your right. Mr. Sahu and Mr. Arun Kumar.
Yes, sir.
HOD sir is saying prosperity is your right. Every individual has got right to be prosper. We might have born into a poor family, Sahu sir. That is sheer incident. Sheer incidentally, we might have born into a poor family. Birth in a poor family, Rupa ma'am, is not a curse at all. But living as poor and die as a poor is a curse which we all can avoid. Through the things which we have just discussed today. Kindly consider things we have discussed today, and I want all you to be prosper because prosperity is your right. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. You have shared a wonderful information like you have spoken about so many things like mutual funds, life insurance, health insurance, government schemes, investment, financial plans, risk taking, equity shares, SIP, etc., etc. Now,
actually, Mr. Dev will not be able to join today. Sorry, he has got some meeting, so he will not be able to join today.
Yes, some other time we'll plan, sir.
Yeah, definitely will join with me next time. And I want HOD to give his observation about the session. Then
sir. Before me, our Dean Faculty of our faculty will speak for a few minutes.
Definitely.
And after that, we'll be having the concluding remarks.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
So now, before that, if there are any questions from the participants, delegates, we can have interactive session also, sir.
Any question from any participant? They rush
around 5 to 10 minutes. We can have a interactive session.
Yeah, definitely, sir.
Sure.
Definitely. Any question from any participant?
Yes, sir. Now it's an interactive session with resource person. Is there any participant who want to raise a question to sir?
From the host side, I think they have to unmute. Give the option of unmuting.
Mr. Sabjar, kindly unmute all the participants now.
Yes.
Anybody can just raise their hand. We will unmute them.
Yeah. So even by
sir. Anybody is there? Anybody who is having a doubt related to this today's session?
Any question or any doubt about it?
Yes, please raise your hands and you can interact with the sir. Sir is available right now.
In between during my session, somebody has raised their hands.
Yes, sir.
So I again invite and welcome any of the questions from the participants.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Avinash.
Sir, actually, as you know, India consists many villages. Rural areas are more in India, and even the source of income is depend on agriculture more, sir. And these agriculture farmers didn't know about these investment schemes and the financial what we call development and wealth maximization aspects, sir. In what way you need to be approached to enhance these informations to those particular platforms, sir?
Sir, I want you to be ambassador for that. I want your help because we all can do it. HOD sir, under his guidance, students, everybody. Because Dr. Avinash, basically it is a social service. It is a mission. We have to all take it forward. Those who are privileged to have information should share such information with all the people or all the citizens of the country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question? Yeah, Ms. Sangu. Please unmute yourself. Mr. Sabjar, kindly unmute.
Sir, dear participants, if any question, please unmute your ID option because we have unmuted all the participants. Please unmute your ID option and you can directly ask a question to speaker. Please. Any participant unmute their ID option and he can directly or she can directly ask question to speaker. Please.
HOD sir, per chance there are no questions. I was expecting a lot of questions from the participants. Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir. Please unmute your ID option, sir.
Sir, kindly unmute yourself. Yeah, Priyanka. Yeah.
So there is a doubt. How to earn money, because nowadays it is a trend of earning money online. So which is the best way to earn money?
Honestly speaking, earning money is a process. It is not an event. HOD sir will agree with me.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
And most of the youngsters want to make it an event. You push the button and no, it is not the process, my dear friends. I want to warn rather all young participants. Earning money and making your investment success is a process. It takes time. It requires your patience. Of course, you should be very alert while investing your money, but at the same time, give some time your money to grow. Multiplication of money will take some time, my dear friends. And those who assure you multiplying your money in a very short period or in a day or two, they are taking your money away. Minded, they will not multiply your money. They will simply take your money away. So kindly be aware that the purpose. That is the purpose of all such sessions we are taking across country.
Yes, sir. So one more question.
Yeah.
Relating to work on savings, sir. What are the methods, or how can one play a role on work on savings, sir?
You can save as per your comfort. That is why, HOD sir, I have not prescribed any percentage of saving. You save, if somebody can save 90% and somebody can save even 5%. So it depends upon individual to individual.
Okay, sir. So relating to role of compounding, sir, 8 wonders. It is one of the 8 wonders, sir. What is the self-promising one can play a role?
No. Role is yours only. Priyanka, role is yours only. You have
so what are the principles that apply, sir?
Principle is very simple. You have to make a commitment with yourself that I will never use any return or income for my personal purposes, for my family purposes. What I will simply do, whenever I get some return, maybe 5,000, maybe 5 lakhs, I will club that return with my regular investment and reinvest it. That's the only commitment I want from you. That's all.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
God bless you. God bless
I think if there are no other questions now, I will hand over the mic to Professor C.S. Baswara, sir, Dean
Sir,
Faculty
sir.
for
Sir.
Commerce
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Management. Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Definitely.
Sir Sharma sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you.
Your lecture was, we witnessed it, sir, so long, and yeah, we were carried by it. And actually, I congratulate you and thank you, sir, for the same.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Sir,
Sir, can you please mute all the participants? This one, sir. Can you please mute it?
Mr. Sabjar, please mute all the participants.
Yes.
Sir, in fact,
Sir, please unmute your audio option, sir. Please, sir. Please unmute your audio option, please. First.
Yeah. Okay. Sir, Baswara, sir, please unmute your. Sir, please unmute your mic, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you started with basics of the investment plan and real return. You discussed a lot and told us about what is real return, why one should aspire for real return, because you told about the adjustment of inflation, etc., which is very important in making the investment. And you also highlighted that investment plan is a journey and it cannot be achieved overnight. It is not an event, you said. Yes, it is a journey, it's a process. And to reap the benefits of the investment plan, one must have the patience. And you said there must be a commitment not to withdraw the money in between. When we have kept it for some purpose, that must be achieved and the money should be withdrawn only after the achievement of the goal. One has to learn all these things. Sir, you told us about the products and also the kind of products, risk appetite product, time horizon product. See, these are the things which one has to keep in mind while making investments. You said that we should not make investment keeping in mind others' risk. We have to consider our risk and accordingly we have to choose the products. Yes, that's very good. And you explained about the types of the products, mainly the government offered products and the bank offered products and the stock market products. And at the end, you touched mutual fund products. At the very first instance only, you told that you are not marketing the mutual fund products. So you kept it last. But anyway, it is very attractive, sir. One has to go for the mutual fund schemes in that SIP. You also said about the SWP, which is also, we are not aware actually much about the SWP, but you introduced that also. Once we achieve our goal, we can start withdrawing from the SIP investment. So I think with all this, the participants today, including the teachers like us, have learned so many aspects. And in fact, I request my HOD here in the department to arrange many more such lectures with the same expertise of yours and Dept Bhattacharya, who did not participate because of his own constraints today. Sir, I assure on behalf of my chairman here that we will be arranging again 2-3 such interactive events so that we will go to higher level in understanding the investment pattern, because it is a very basic kind of discussion which we had with you today. And definitely in your next lectures when we arrange, I hope you are going to take us to higher level so that our participants who are mainly teachers will be taking those aspects to their students. And then it will really reach the ground. And we are also telling to some of our students that we should be the ambassadors to see that the objective achieved today reaches the ground level, farmers also and community persons. That we have to do. For that purpose, teachers are our ambassadors. Today's participants are ambassadors. And I hope the message which you have given us today will be carried to them also. Sir, with these very few remarks and expressing my very sincere thanks to you and also congratulating you for giving such a wonderful lecture to all of us. And I also thank my HOD for giving me an opportunity to share my opinion about the seminar with audience and you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. A very rewarding session, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I am available and I am at your disposal all the time. Whenever you feel a need.
Definitely we will arrange, sir. Definitely we will arrange sometime. Maybe in the evening also or some Sundays, if
whenever
possible.
Whenever you
So
feel a need, sir, I am at your disposal. I am at your disposal.
Without losing our daily activity, we can have the interactions, sir.
Yes,
actually, your session was highly interactive. You referred our teachers Arun Kumar and Sahu very frequently and made it very lively. And you gave some illustrations also, which is very wonderful, sir. And in fact, in this 2 hours lecture, we got a lot of benefits from your side. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor C.S. Basavaraj, sir, Dean, Department of Commerce and Management, Gulbarga University. Now it's a time for vote of thanks. I request Mr. Jagdishwar N. Patil, Faculty Department of Management and Department of Management, to give a vote of thanks.
Before Dr. Jagdish Patil extend the vote of thanks, I would like to extend very highest gratitude to Professor Sri Suryakant Sharma sir for sparing his so valuable time and covering the topic in such a detailed manner. So it could have definitely sensitized all our delegates and participants, and definitely I hope that it will help them to have an effective and proper financial plan so that they can live a comfortable life. That's what we expect. And as you told, sir, as part of that ISR, that is individual social responsibility, definitely we'll try to take up that and we'll do our best in that direction also, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now we can move over to Mr. Jagdish Patil for extending vote of thanks, sir.
Sir, before Jagdish Patil, sir, I want to thank you on my behalf and on behalf of Amfi, particularly to you for taking the initiative, and to Mr. Arun Kumar. You both have been instrumental in taking this forward and organizing this program.
We have to be very grateful to you, sir, for sparing your valuable time and spending so much of time with us.
Always at your disposal, sir. I am very happy.
Make it a point. We'll have this kind of event, another 2-3 events regularly with you, sir, so that
and
we
moreover,
can get
sir,
so much benefited.
Moreover, I would be more than happy to come to you physically as well in your university.
Yeah, definitely we'll plan, sir. Definitely we can plan. As our Vice Chancellor was also here, he also heard almost half an hour lecture of yours. He was so impressed and extended his thanks also to you, sir.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sir, now I request Mr. Jagdish Patil, sir, to give a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, sir, please proceed, sir.
I hope I am audible.
Yeah,
you are audible.
Okay. It's my pleasure to thank you all for being a part of this webinar. First of all, I would like to thank our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dayanand Agasar, sir, for providing us a platform to conduct this webinar. Thank you, sir. The management department is also thankful to AMFI in arranging this webinar. We are grateful to Sri Suryakant Sharma, sir, for providing in-depth knowledge about investments, opportunities investments, and how we need to save based on the price index and economical fluctuation in the country. Another resource person, he could not attend, Sri Dept Bhattacharji, Assistant General Manager SEBI, New Delhi, due to some emergency work he has. Okay. I am also thankful to Professor C.S. Basavaraj, sir, Dean, Department of Commerce and Management, and thanks to our Chairman, sir, Professor Rajnal Lakshman, sir. Without their initiative and efforts, this event was not possible. I am also thankful to all the faculties and students of Management Department and all the participants for making this webinar a success and a memorable event. Once again, I am thankful to all and everyone who have present on this occasion. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Sir, before conclusion, I will request Mr. Sahu also. Mr. Sahu was with me right from the beginning. and he has been instrumental in organizing this program along with Mr. Arun Kumar and HOD. Mr. Sahu, if you are here, I would be very happy if you kindly speak a few words.
Sahu?
Yes, sir.
Vijay?
Yes, sir. Sir, usually
He's there. He's there.
Yeah, thank you.
I am teaching finance for MBA students, sir. Sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir, usually some students are going to ask the question that is related to policies, sir.
Okay.
Policy in the sense, sir, if I take the policy on my son's or daughter's name, if something happens to me, then who is going to pay that policy? Instead of taking their sons or daughters, whether we can take that policy to my names or my wife, who is earning person. For them,
No, sir. Sir, one thing, I got your point. Insurance policy can be taken only by the person who is earning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Student and daughters can't take insurance policy unless and until they start earning, firstly. So the beneficiary will be your family.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have taken insurance policy not for you, but for your family members. The purpose of insurance policy is very simple, sir. That in case something happens to me, at least my family will get a reasonable or a good amount on which they can continue the journey of their financial well-being. Because typically what happens, sir, I am the sole earner in the family. If something happens to me, everything is go headward. How my family will survive? How my children will get education? For all these purposes, I am taking policy. So first thing I want to make it clear that insurance policy has to be in the name of the person who is earner. Sons and daughters cannot take policy unless and until they start earning.
The same answer has been given by me, sir, to many students.
Absolutely, you are absolutely right, sir. You are absolutely right, sir.
That usually the people will be taking the policies on their daughter's name or other's name. Who is not
No, sir. No. Actually, you can't take it. Very honestly speaking, you can't take the insurance policy in the name of your daughter. Daughter can take it.
Yes.
When she's earning, she can take it. But if you want to take a policy, it has to be in your name only. Beneficiary will of course be your family.
Nominee can be.
Nominee can be.
Actually,
Or all family members.
Sir, actually, sir, they discuss about endowment policy.
No.
Yes, sir.
Sir, endowment, money back and endowment, these are the policies of the past, very honestly speaking. Today, the time has changed. HOD sir will agree with me.
Yeah.
Everything has changed. Now you should, sir, HOD sir and Dean sir is sitting with you. Our time is over, very honestly speaking. So that is why my session more focused on the youngsters. Because now we can't take decision, we can't take risk. Our purpose of life is now totally different. We want to live a reasonably peaceful life. But for young people, they have time to go. They should earn. They should earn and they should invest. Earning is the first stage. Investment is the second stage. Thank you very much, Sahu sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. M.K. Jain had raised some hand. Dr. M.K. Jain. Mr. Sabjar, last question, if he has something in mind. Otherwise, we can close it now. Dr. M.K. Jain.
Yeah, I think in between he raised the hand. Sir.
Yeah. Dr. Jain, are you here?
M.K. Jain, please, sir.
Dr. M.K. Jain.
इंश्योरेंस है सिंपल जी। हाँ, सुन पा रहे हैं मुझे?
हाँ जैन साहब नमस्कार।
हाँ नमस्कार जी। हाँ जी, मैं कुछ अपनी कोई क्वेरी नहीं है, लेकिन मैं सिर्फ ये कह रहा हूँ कि सर सूर्यकांत सर जो है, मैं आपके हर एक लेक्चर को सुनता हूँ और उसमें नई नई बातें मुझे सीखने को मिल रही हैं। और मैं उसी दिन से आपका फैन हो गया था जब आपने हमारे महाविद्यालय में ऑफलाइन प्रोग्राम आयोजित किया था। अब मेरे पास
दोबारा करूंगा, आपके यहाँ दोबारा आ रहा हूँ मैं।
जी वेलकम सर जी।
थैंक यू
5 दिन के बाद एग्जाम जो है खत्म हो जाएंगे। वेलकम सर।
गॉड ब्लेस यू ऑल। थैंक यू वेरी मच। Thank you very much, HOD sir, Dean sir,
Thank you,
sir, Mr. Arun Kumar, and we will continue have meeting offline and online.
Thank you so much to you, sir, for
We'll meet again, sir.
Definitely, sir, definitely.